I'm really glad I made the other weather deflector. Made it just a few minutes ago. Placed it over here. About the midway point of our boardwalk. And now we got another tornado just across the river from our base. Yep, that was a good idea. Hello there, and welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft Hardrock. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Tornadoes aside, which have, thankfully blown off, I was out exploring earlier. Last episode, we tried detonating some TNT barrels, and we didn't really get much of a reaction out of it. We need more gunpowder. We didn't put enough in the barrel. And so I wanted to look and find more sulfur. Now, under every, just like in, vanilla Minecraft, you dig deep enough, you're going to find lava. That's true in TerraFirmaCraft. And so there should be sulfur down below. But I ran into a small issue. If you remember, when you make a charcoal pit, if you're standing near it, you get little bubbles over your food and water bar that represent your air, just like if you were in water. We have a mod called Thin Air. I think that's what's doing it. So, I want to make a respirator, which should allow us to breathe longer in these low air environments, such as deep underground. So we need 3 string, 1 charcoal powder, and 1 plant fabric, and that gives us a respirator, and we can wear this on our head. We can also make a air bladder. This takes a leather flask and string again. It looks like you can use any durability. So I was almost out of durability on this leather flask, so I made a new one, and we'll use the old one. So now we have an air bladder, which I can't click on, so I'm going to assume it's got air in it. And we got a respirator on. So let's go down into our mine, find where we were, where we started to run low on air, and see if this fixes it. And here we are in our copper mine. I started digging down on an angle here. Could have sworn I had a torch on me. Well, we're going to borrow this one. And had to put supports in as we went to keep everything from caving in on us. But the further we went, we ran into a bit of an issue. So I started digging down. And there's plenty of copper here. So, we're going to be good on copper for quite a while. But if we go forward just a little bit further, there, we've got the air bubbles right above our food bar. So we're reaching areas with thin air, I guess. So let's put the respirator on and see if that stops it from... Yeah, it's not going down. Okay, so that is at least partially how we can explore down here. And this is not moss, that is uranite, which is to say uranium. Which, if we were going to go real deep into mechanism and whatnot, we would need as a power source. But we're not, so don't really have to worry about it too much. Oh, and yeah, if you break a ladder, you get sticks back, not ladders back. Oh, you have a fun little toy there. You also have some urns down here, which mostly drop junk. But they can occasionally drop some more useful items torches, seeds. I've seen gems in the past. I have not had gems drop for me this playthrough, but I also haven't really gone cave diving since, well, in this playthrough. Oh, I just noticed that we are actually losing air. And that guy hit hard. Oh, the respirator's gone already. That would explain it. Okay, so that respirator does not last long. And, this air bladder, I didn't really notice it doing anything. So either I'm using it wrong, or it's not really helping. We are in no shape now to continue down here, so we're going to get out of here. And yeah, gonna have to make more of those respirators if I want to actually explore down here, because if we go far enough down, we can find sulfur. We just need to get down there. Well, since sulfur is going to be a pain to get a bunch of stacks of gunpowder for, we can always do TNT. And we have plenty of sand, so that should not be really much of an issue. And this should have a larger and bigger blast radius than the one stack of TNT. However, pretty sure the TNT actually destroy... the TNT will actually destroy blocks more than the gunpowder barrel does. So, this is good for mining. This is good for getting rid of stuff. So let's stick this in there. Get rid of that. I don't know how that's going to interact with the falling TNT. That wasn't nearly as effective. Let's see how it affects. A little more effective up here. A lot of pollution, though. Well, at the very least, it will help with getting rid of these top few layers. Oh, and by the way, don't walk into any of that sulfur or... Well, this amount of dust isn't an issue. It's when you get a lot of dust gathered up. That's when it'll be an issue. But if you walk into the sulfur or the carbon, which is the black pollution that you see raising up, yeah, your torch will set that off, and that'll be essentially another piece of TNT going up in your face. Huh. Remember I thought the respirator broke? No, I thought it was on my head, but it's apparently on one of the Curios head slots. So, yeah, we still have it. Which means I could probably go back down underground. I've been digging since the last clip with the TNT. I've used about half the durability on our shovel in the process. But I've got a section of this down to the right Y level. But not that much. There's still a lot to go. But knowing that the respirator is still here, like it's not broken, I think I'm going to take a few minutes and dive back underground and see if I can't find sulfur. Now that I just ate some more food, actually. Looks like I'm out of water. Well, got jumped by a skelly, so, died again. But, as you can see, we found sulfur. And we found lava right below it. And we found a creeper. And another skelly. Ah, come on. I mentioned this earlier, but you have to be careful when mining sulfur, because it creates these sulfur clouds. And if you touch them with a torch, they go off. But, wrong pouch. Now we're getting sulfur, which means we can actually make a steady supply of gunpowder. And maybe not cause a cave-in. And, I may have just scared myself a little bit there. What was I saying? And maybe get a little more of the area mined out using explosives. Oh, wow, I just made an utter mess of this area. Well, I'm going to finish mining down here carefully and then head home. A creeper snuck up on me. I don't know how I'm still alive. I don't know which direction I came from. My health bar actually said 0.0 before. And we're dead. So I can't swing fast enough. And we have weakness, so I can't even damage the guy. Okay. I was thinking if I knock him in the lava, maybe I'd stand a chance, but he can't get up the ladder. Alright, well, let's get out of here, recover, and then maybe come back down again. Alright, we've had a bit of time. I've recovered. We have 6 stacks of TNT, of gunpowder. Explosion strength of 32. Reminder, 1 stack. I don't have the inventory space to leave 1 stack. 1 stack is a strength of 5. So we have a strength of 32. We have this area here I want to clear out. I did dig it down just a little bit. Let's see what happens. That's what happens. Oh boy. I'm going to be filling in a couple holes now. This is the layer down here that I want to dig to. And, yeah, we're a little below that now. But that did a much better job at clearing out the area for me. Although it did an excellent job, but also polluting everything for me. Alright, so we want to get back up to here. So, yeah, I've got... Well, filling in is a lot easier than mining out. But now you see why I wanted to play with the TNT a little bit. Or the powder keg. It does make a pretty big hole in the ground. Oh, we made some decent progress here. I only just realized what time it was. You know what? I don't like how that looks. We're just going to hide that. Look like I had a Charlie Chaplin mustache. We're going to leave it at that. Yeah. So I filled in most of the mess here. Making pretty good progress. I've torn down most of the stone here. But I just realized what time it is. I've been at this for over 6 hours straight. I'm sitting here. I'm starving. I'm like, why am I so hungry? Look at the clock. Oh, it's 9 30 and I haven't eaten anything yet tonight. So I just went and made myself a taco salad. And now I'm back to doing this. But yes, we've made some pretty good progress. Now I'm going to pull back this wall a bit more. The plan is, of course, like, the buildings are going to be roughly in this open area here. And it's going to follow the curvature. This boardwalk is going to follow the curvature too. And then I will just edit this to give it more of a slope. But now we've got some clear land. And we're pretty close with the boardwalk here. What I can start to do is build an actual house over here. Or to be fair, I think this first building is going to be a storage unit. So I store all of our raw resources and everything in here. That way it's nice and close to where we're processing. And then maybe build an actual house over here. I do need to go pull up some pictures of the Wildwood Boardwalk. It's been a little while since I've been there. And I do kind of want to have everything designed to look like it. It's not going to be one-to-one, of course. But yeah, need for inspiration. But I'm also going to be making up a lot of terracotta, which means I'm going to need to go out and find a whole bunch of clay deposits so we can dig up all that clay, so we can then heat up the clay in our forge, so we have terracotta that we can use for the buildings. And we can dye the terracotta. We have dyes for that. Let's see. White terracotta is probably going to be used a lot, and that we just need lye for. But then might want to mix in some red terracotta, so we need to make some red dye. And dye requires us to boil the dye in water. So that's pretty easy. If we go and make a vat, we can do up to 9 at once. Or is it 10 at once? It's 10 at once. Probably stick to more of the, you know, the regular terracotta, the white, maybe the light gray, maybe red or yellow. The definitely isn't cyan terracotta. But I'll stick to these. Maybe also the black and brown. And also dark wood, hickory. Just for the actual... Oh, I'll look at pictures. Might have had... Well, we can't paint the wood in this mod pack. I was going to say, might want to make some wood that looks white, but we don't really have that. I mean, the closest to that is finding pine. Which we should be able to find pine. Yeah, maybe use pine for some of the faces of the buildings too. Where did I see pine? I know we had some Douglas fir up here. I know I've seen pine somewhere. I don't know where it is. So we'll go look at that later. In the meantime, let's grab food. Let's dump this out. And then we're going to go check out this up here. Because we really haven't done much today. I've just been focusing on building and working, and we need a little more excitement. And we're out here by the building, and of course there is a pillager outpost here. But I'm not seeing pillagers on the map. So either they are not rendering on the map, or they are gone. Got a few outlays in there. Don't really think there's much we can do with them. Oh, I was hoping I could yoink that. Oh, there's a pillager over there. Ah, okay. They do show up on the map. Just from a distance. Let's see if there's anything worth looting up here. Oh, all the potatoes. Smithing template. So, templates were added to TerraFirmaCraft. you can now make templates and apply them to your armor. We also got some carrots, some kernels, gunpowder, and bullets. Well, those could be useful if we had a gun. Balls of enchanting, compressed iron, buried treasure map, some lumber, and a crossbow. I'm going to leave that for now. The compressed iron, well, we're not going to go that far into the mod pack, but that could be quite useful if we were. As you saw, 1 compressed iron is the equivalent of 2 ingots of iron. Oh, he spawned. Oh! He apparently had a gun. Well, okay then. I guess we have to go and get our stuff back. Maybe I'll wear my armor this time. Okay, we managed to get our stuff back, and we are now inside this building. I'm hesitant to call it a ruin. I don't know if it is a ruin or if there's like villagers in here like the other one, but there are more chests. That's a lot of lapis. Could have used this earlier for the gem powder. Bit of raw iron. So taking that. I just wanted to hear a skeleton. I do hear a skeleton. Pair of apples. Nice. Wait, was that? Slime balls. Yeah. We could use that instead of glue. Okay, I'll have to remember that. Jack-o'-lantern and a pumpkin that we might be able to turn to food. A little bit of a garden with some more veggies. Nice. Barrel. Baked potatoes. Oh, we don't need food right at the moment. Hey, villagers in beds. They take more of the coins. Paper, map. Okay, so there are villagers up here. But it sounds like there are skeletons below. I don't know if that's because there is a dungeon below, or if that's because there's a cave below and the skeletons are in the cave. More raw iron. Okay, well, I haven't seen a way down. Okay, nice little loot, but nothing too crazy. Is there a way? Nope, there's nothing down below there. Okay. Well, interesting, but nothing too crazy in here. The iron would be nice. The food is also nice. Slime balls will also be nice, making some more weapons and or tools. Again, so I don't need to make glue. Although, glue is easy enough with all the... Sorry, just checking if the coast is clear. Glue is easy enough to make with lye and bone meal. So that's not really a concern. Alright, well, back to the boring task that I was at, preparing the land. Well, we've had some proper success with the powder keg today, so I think we're going to call an end here. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you've all had a wonderful day. Thank you to my channel members for your support, and I'll see you next time. Later!